Hi, welcome at a new sharing session here at Level with APCO. It's a week after my last sharing video, and I still have not much certainty about how my registration issue is going. And today is one of these days that I just feel depressed about everything. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with me now. So as you might have seen, I'm back home, but I have so much difficulty in arriving back here. I'm scared that I'll have to travel soon, maybe back again for the issue, and it just feels weird that it's not yet solved. But I went back here because I knew I wouldn't be receiving much news about it anytime soon, and I was also getting a bit depleted or something from being away so long, and I just needed my home. But when I got home, I noticed how I had actually been away for way too long, and there was so much work I actually had to do, and that I hadn't done because it was just difficult to do it working from my laptop and not having all my files and my normal computer and my normal stuff like a microphone and everything. I don't know. It just, and being traveling is time consuming. There are people around me all the time. I can't really concentrate. I can't really connect to myself. But then when I got home, it was like, oh fuck, there's such a pile of work to do while I still feel emotional and haven't solved this yet. And there have been days that I felt quite optimistic about it. And I think if I would look really rational towards it, it would look kind of optimistic right now. But on an emotional level, I just feel scared and I feel blocked and I feel like I can't work until I know if it's solved. And, oh gosh, yeah. Yesterday, I sent out an email to announce my webinar on self-love for the promotion in February around Valentine's Day for my self-love course. And it went all wrong. Like, I had some spirit to fix things for myself and to do the work so that I would be back on track again and to settle in here. And then yesterday I worked really hard, and by the end of the day everything went wrong. ConvertKit didn't work like it should. Then I tried to fix it with InstaBuilder, with other software, and that also didn't work. And everything felt so complicated. I asked my boyfriend to help, and he tried something with codes. And I thought, oh my god, how do people get through technical difficulties if they don't have a programmer around in their house all the time? But he couldn't even fix it because the software wouldn't use his code the right way. Well, all kind of shit. So eventually I sent people to an old-fashioned kind of opt-in page I used, which makes it way more steps to subscribe for my webinar, which made me scared that I'll never get to the amount of signups that I tried to get. And I feel like it's just hopeless, and I now feel so much regret that I did this thing, that I just didn't decide to take it easy on myself and just skip over it and not do the launch. And I was so stuck on doing it around Valentine's Day because that sounded so cute, like self-love, Valentine's Day, whoa, it's such a good timing. Maybe I'm just too influenced by these things I used to read, that it's good to do things around actuality, or how do you call it in English? Like things that are happening right now, seasonal things. And when I wrote the email, I thought, is this it? Is this the whole reason I'm doing this right now on this moment way very short after my previous launch, and while I have so much going on already? And I didn't really understand what the use of it was. Like, will it really be a more successful launch because I do it around Valentine's Day? I don't know. It sounded like a cool idea, but then in the end it's just a few lines I write in an email, and I don't know if it's really adds so much. So yeah, not going to do that anymore. And yesterday I talked to Julia, my mastermind buddy, and she said, like, isn't there something you can skip right now to make it easier on yourself? And then I still felt like, no, I just have to do it. And not only because Valentine's Day, but also because I don't want to, I don't know, it also feels like I hurt myself if I do less things. And I thought, well, and if I don't do it now, I'm going to be busy a few weeks from now, which also sucks. And maybe that's true still, but oh my god, how much regret I now feel. I don't feel like promoting, I don't feel like being vulnerable, I'm already too vulnerable, I don't feel like making my happiness depend on the numbers of how many people sign up, how many people buy, how many people actually love the course when they go through it, etc. It's so much to be doing the live round of my course and people continually asking me questions where I feel forced or obligated to answer within a day or so, and then having to organize the e-festival already, invite speakers, then preparing for this new launch, and the registration issues, and at the same time trying to keep up with my weekly content and all the usual stuff that's happening. It's just too much. And maybe it wasn't if I wouldn't have that registration issue and could have just worked all the time. And it made me feel so sad as well that in the beginning of January I did so well with creating nurturing habits for myself as a sort of New Year's resolution thing. And then I came back home and it feels like I have to start again. Like that whole momentum I had going, it just feels gone after being away for a week and a half. And it feels so sad that I built it all and I was in such a good mood at the beginning of the year and really like, oh my god, I'm going to do this and things are finally working out and things are going better. And then now I feel like there's just thrown a bump into my whole business and still have to keep it going, even though everything is burning down. Yeah, I don't know. And then I just feel like, oh, I want to quit having a business, but I also don't want to live a life in which I don't have a business, so there's not much options left. I can only wish to turn into some transcendental being and travel to the next dimension that feels like an option I would actually enjoy. All the other things I can think of is just like, no. I feel sick of all the struggles that come with business. I feel sick of all the struggles I had in my personal development. I feel sick of all the self-sabotaging and all the inner work. Oh gosh, I feel like I've been doing that for years, and then still it feels like, oh, is this a new income level? Am I stuck in my email list because it's been around 3,000 and now stuck on that level and not growing much anymore? And I'm continuously having to ask, oh, is this something that's blocked from inside? Or why is this happening? Is this a sign? Or is that a sign? Is this a sign I should stop doing it? And oh my god, I'm so sick of trying to apply meaning to everything. Sometimes, like, I'm genuinely, most of the time, very happy that I'm a spiritual person and that there is a spiritual path and it gives so much meaning to my life, but sometimes I just get sick of it and I feel like I'm only making it more difficult to myself. Like today I'm feeling shit and then I start to be scared that maybe because I'm now in such a low vibe, I'll attract more shit and the government will decide something very bad for me because I feel crap today. And oh my god. And I do find a bit of relief in thinking, okay, well, there have been days I felt super happy and shit happened to me and I manifested bad things. So could be the other way around as well. And I also hate that I haven't heard from them yet because they should have responded like yesterday or today at the latest. Oh, and I hate waiting, and I hate that I have to send them letters. Why can't we just call about it, or at least email? Like, how fucking old-fashioned is it to communicate in letters, which take a day to arrive? Oh my god, I feel so spoiled when I talk about all these things in sharing video, but this is how it feels to me, and it feels like too much, just too much, and I want ease and joy, and I mean, didn't I decide to do this in the first place because I loved doing it and I thought it would be nice and I wanted to do work that I always love? It's sometimes I feel like I missed my goal and just got too obsessed with the numbers and having to be successful. And I continuously doubt myself these days too. Like every time, maybe I said it in my last sharing video as well, but every time someone asks a question, I have such difficult time to respond from a place of, okay, this person is just needing some extra attention and I can help them, and that kind of place. Instead I just feel like, oh my god, this is the sign that I can't do this whole thing and that I'm just a fraud and that I shouldn't create courses. Look at this person, I can't help people with this. I should better just close my whole company, because what was I thinking, that I was able to help people? Like, seriously, Luz? So that's how my head goes every time there's a question. So that doesn't make it easier. And today I decided to have a soft day and to not work. And I don't feel like it's getting me anywhere. Like, it's better than working. But in the end, I'm still feeling frustrated. I'm still feeling overworked and overwhelmed and like it's all too much, and stressed and depressed and everything. Maybe I should take a holiday once in a while. Like, not just time off, but really a holiday, really being out of all the normal stuff. It's way too easy to confuse the fact that I travel a lot with taking holidays, because fuck, none of them have really been like holidays. I've worked on most of them. When I'm back in the Netherlands, there's always stuff to arrange and to take care of, and it feels like there are social obligations, and I also love them, and I love going back to the Netherlands and seeing my friends, but it's not really like a holiday where I really feel like, oh, I don't have to do anything. And it's the same old stuff, that same old city that I've lived in and seen so many times. It's not really special. And then that time in Berlin, it was personal development all over the place. Here, try to survive in a city by yourself, and it was wonderful. And I do feel grateful for all the growth, but I feel like I need a break with it. I feel like I can't do it anymore. So yeah, I'll let myself be guided these days by the question, how can I make this easy and soft and loving for myself? Maybe I'll let go of my income goal for this launch and just focus on doing it in a self-loving way. How ironic that I have to take extra care of my self-love by launching a self-love course. Feels like my whole life is sometimes one big ironic joke. So, here was depressed Luz. And we'll see how it goes, and if I'll find back my optimistic side again someday. And I hope you are having an easier time than I do. Bye for now. Doesn't go out.